Hello and a very warm welcome to you. My name is Anne-Marie. It is wonderful to have you joining me tonight. If I've seen you before, if you've seen me before, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. I do hope you enjoy this session. I'm just going to give you a little bit of information at the start of this class. This will be my last live session for a little while. It is not going to be my last Pilates class. It's going to be my last live session. The reason being, the astute among you will notice there is furniture missing. As of next week, this room won't exist. So I'm a little bit struggling, but I have pre-recorded loads and loads and loads of videos to keep you going. So I will be releasing those on a Monday every week, and it will be before our normal 7:30 slot. So don't panic, you will still have workouts. I will still be recording them. Hopefully somewhere, I don't know, it's building work, who knows what's going to happen, but this will be my last live one for a little while. So hope you enjoy it, but yes, there's going to be no roof, there's going to be no walls, what am I going to do, who knows, it'll be fine, what could go wrong? We just have this couple of minutes, don't we, before to let everyone get set up, get their stuff ready, get their computer ready, their TV ready, whatever they need to set up. The equipment for today, got your mat, cushion and head pad. I've got as well a belt. This is going to be optional. I'm just going to use it for a little bit of stretching at the end. If you don't have one, don't panic. You don't have to have one, but if you do, just a yoga strap, a belt of a dressing gown, a normal belt, something like that, anything like that will be perfect, okay? But don't panic. Okay, right. We're just going to have a little bit of breathing while we wait for our friends to be ready and to join us. So for my neutral position, when you're ready, we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, one more time, in, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold there, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. I hope that's really making you feel nice, calm, relaxed, letting the stresses and strains of the day ease away, and just get ready for this hour we're going to spend together. So as I said at the beginning, my name is Anne-Marie, very, very warm welcome. We have our equipment ready. As always, I've not planned this session with any injuries or pregnancies in mind. Please do listen to your body. If anything hurts, is twingy, please stop, take a break, take a stretch, do something different, make a modification. Don't hurt yourself. If you need to take a drink at any time, please do so. Make sure you're in a safe space. All the usual stuff. I just want you to enjoy the hour and not to have a panic and just to feel fantastic at the end of it, okay? That is the aim of the game. And that's where we're going to get to by the end of this session. Okay, so let's get ourselves started as we always do. Let's find our neutral alignment. So the feet directly under those hip bones at the front. And we're just going to spread out the toes and rock forwards and back. So allowing the movement into the feet, really stretching them out. And rocking backwards and forwards, coming up onto the toes. So get a little bit of work into the calves actually as you do this. And coming to let them settle, so the body weight's in the middle of the feet. And then allowing the ankles to roll out and in, if that is comfy for you on your ankles. Just rolling in and out. Again, it's thinking about the mobility around these joints and that movement you've got available. And relaxing it there, so the body weight is directly in the middle of the feet. Working up through the legs, the knees are soft. Okay, Okay, so don't need to lock them out, just keep them nice and soft. We're going to work up through the legs, and this is the time where we get that mobility into the lower part of the spine. Now, it's not uncommon for people to either be hyperextended or underextended as a natural stance in the lower spine. They might find they have quite a flat back or very curved at the bottom of the back. So we're just working through those two positions so that we can come back to neutral for you. Okay, allowing yourself to reduce the size of that movement and finding that neutral curve in the lower part of the spine. Drawing down through the tailbone, draw up through the spine. The spine is long. You are constantly thinking about length in Pilates. Bringing the rib cage over the hips. It's just relaxed. It's not flaring out, just chilled out, relaxed over the hips. Bring the shoulders forwards, up, back, and ease them down your back. Making sure the shoulders are away from the ears. And keeping the spine long, looking forwards, the chin's pointing forwards, shoulders are nice and neutral and down, and we've got that long, long spine. A gentle squeeze between the shoulder blades eases those arms around, so the hands naturally point forwards or in towards the legs. And this is our start position. Let's get back to that full and wide breathing. So if you wish to, fingertips on the rib cage. As you breathe out, those fingers will come back together. As you breathe in, fingers ease apart. It's like a lovely big set of bellows. And this is where we find our calm, where we find the space in our lungs, and the space in our day to enjoy our practice together. And one more. Okay, relax up there. Okay, we're just going to imagine our hips and our hipster belt. So our core contraction tonight, we're going to visualise with a hipster belt with 10 notches on it. As you breathe in your next full and wide breath, breathe in and tighten that belt to the 10th notch. And it is that sensation around your hips of tight and hold it all together and release. That is too much tension. Release. Okay. And on your next full and wide breath in, we'll breathe in and go to the 50%, the 5th notch on that belt. So it's a tightening around here. You might feel the sensation, the pelvic floor drawing up inside you. And release. Okay. And when you're ready, on your next full and wide breath, then breathe in. You're going to go to the 3rd notch on the belt. So that is a gentle tightening. You're feeling a little bit of connection between the ribs and the hips drawing together, the pelvic floor drawing up inside, and that is the contraction we are aiming for throughout our session. I will keep reminding you about that hipster belt. Okay, and let's get ourselves really nice and warm and mobile. So today we're going to start with some shoulder rolls just with the shoulders. So bring the shoulders forwards, up, back and down. This is one of those very rare occasions. I want your shoulder blades up by your ears, your shoulders coming right up, but then pulling them down. So releasing that tension. You're building it up, 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 and then release it down and relax it down. Fantastic. Just a couple more. And let's hold it there. I'm going to have a stretch down the side of the neck. So just bring your ear towards your shoulder. Feeling the stretch down the side of the neck. You can gently use your fingers to gently ease the neck away. That's it. And taking the head over the top. Take the other ear to the other shoulder. You can use the fingertips on the opposite hand to draw down, so you're getting that extra little stretch down the side. And you can use your fingers over the top, just gently, 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 gently pull it down. It's a really nice little stretch then. And release that there. So we're just going to take the feet a little bit further apart. We're just going to allow the arms to swing. Swing them round, releasing the shoulders, releasing some rotation into the spine, shoulders coming round, arms coming round, and as they go, allow the arms to flex. So you're letting some movement into the elbows, into the shoulders, into the spine. Obviously make sure you're not in a space where you're going to hit somebody or something. Best not. Okay. And taking those up to the top corner. You might want to just reach them up to those top corners. Feeling that stretch along the side as you go. Lovely. Okay. And relax it there. We're just going to do some rolling down. So I'm going to come to the end of the mat. Feet under the hips. Neutral position to start. Okay, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, tilt the chin and peel the spine. We're going to just start a little bit at a time. So just going maybe a quarter of the way down to start with, just that top part of the spine coming back up. Maybe extending a little bit at the top, getting a stretch across the front of the chest. Then when you're ready, tilt the chin and just slowly work it down. Now if you're feeling a little bit of tension into the spine, a little bit of discomfort anywhere, you can feather it down. You might just want to rock a little bit side to side. And coming back up. Making sure throughout that that core is engaged. You're starting in neutral before you go down. So easing down and then coming back up. There is no rush. You don't have to follow my timings by any stretch. Okay. But gradually increasing the size of your movement. So tilting the chin, peeling it down. And increasing there. Oh, this feels good, doesn't it? Slowly getting down towards the bottom of your range of movement. Gradually getting there. We'll get there. Okay. And this time when you get to the bottom, just hang out there. Okay, when you get there, just let the head hang down, the arms hang down, the shoulders hang down, the spine is just allowed to elongate. You've still got the core switched on, so the navel's drawn towards the spine. You can soften out the knees if it's too tight into the hamstrings. And from here, I'm just going to get you to walk the hands forwards, coming into a plank position, but not really staying there, because I'm going to get you to take the hips straight up into downward dog. So downward dog, you're pushing the chest towards the shins and the heels, and if you want to, you can just walk through the dog. So the heels pressing into the floor alternately, bending the opposite knee. So you're getting a stretch down the back of the legs, stretch into the shoulders, the hands are shoulder width apart, so the elbows are soft. And just allow those feet to come to a stationary position, the knees are still soft, but pushing the chest down towards the feet. And then easing the body weight forwards into plank, just so that you can walk those hands backwards. You can bend the knees, and we're going to roll up again through the spine. Back to neutral, maybe a little overextension, and we'll take it down again. We're just going to go through that again. So peeling down one by one. So you're peeling parcel off a tape, walking those hands forward, getting towards a plank position, and take the hips up and back. And again, if you wish to, you can walk that dog. So pressing the palms in towards the mat. Spreading out the fingers. And letting the heels come to settle. Hips are high, chest is pressed down towards the ankles. Ease the body weight forwards into plank, and then walking the hands back so that we can roll up again. One more time. So back in neutral. Coming back. Is that core still engaged? Good stuff. Walk those hands forward. Into plank, but straight to pressing those hips up towards the ceiling. And again, if you wish to, just walking through the the ankles. I just quite like that. I like that sensation of the stretch down the back of the leg. Hips are nice and high, but you're getting the stretch into the calves, a little bit into the hamstrings. And both heels down, knees are soft, chest pressing forwards and down towards the ankles and shins. Easing through to plank, walking the hands backwards. Rolling up. And then coming back to the middle of our mat. So we're just going to open out through the rotation of the hips. So from here, I just want you to come up onto your toe on one side, and we're just going to take the knee out and in. So it's kind of a little variation on tree pose. But we're keeping the hips pointing forwards. So you're just getting rotation, you're engaging into this glute medius, this muscle kind of at the side, at the back, part of the glute group. But feeling the rotation through the hips. Okay, let's switch sides. Same thing on the other side. So again, those hips are solidly pointing forwards, the spine is still nice and long, the standing leg is soft. Fantastic. Okay, and release that there. Now, best bit coming. You know I love a balance, so let's crack on with our balancing tonight. I'm going to do it on the mat tonight. Feel free if you want to do it, if you have a yoga block that you normally do it on. This is one that will work for that should you so wish. But we're just going to stretch out to the side and take the leg out. So we're going to come in and out. Okay. So if you need to and you wish to, you can tap the toe down each time, or you can keep it raised. I'm working the abductors outside of this leg, obviously working the balance, the standing knee is soft, working into the shoulders, the deltoids, these muscles at the front, at the top of the shoulders. So a few things going on here, and by moving, I'm constantly challenging my proprioception, that natural reaction that helps you to balance and control not falling over, basically. Okay, let's hold it out there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Might need to give it a rough give it a pat. I love a bit of balance, it's great. Right, same thing on the other side. Okay. Just stretching out to the side. Okay, so it's a nice long spine, shoulder blades still drawn down. You can, if you wish to, gently tip over to the side if you'd like. That's okay. Or you might want to keep the body fairly rigid. Knees still soft on the standing leg. Not holding any tension in the limbs. Just a lengthening and a relax. Lengthening and a relax. Again, you can tap it down if you wish. When you're ready, let's hold it out this time. Let's do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Ooh, give it a little rub. Look at the blood flowing. Fantastic. One more balance. One more balance. I always like to do two if I can. So this time I'm going to show you side on because it's a bit easier to see. We're going to start this one as a knee lift, take the toe behind and just stretch out the calf. So I'm giving you a sneaky little stretch here as well, just to start with. It will turn more into a proper balance in a moment. But I'm just giving you that stretch out. So the feet are kind of along tram tracks, going forwards and backwards, the moving leg. Heel goes straight back, pressed into the floor, and when it presses down, get that stretch into the calf. Okay. From here, if you're happy and comfortable to do so, instead of tapping down, you're just going to lean forwards and extend the leg backwards. So I'm not going super high. This is not turning into a warrior three. It's just this extension behind, so it's a rear leg lift. And you'll note that when that leg goes back and behind, I'm bending at the hips. so that I'm not overextending the lower part of the back. So I'm bending the body sufficiently far forwards that I'm just coming to kind of a straight line. You've got some options here with the arms, okay? You can let the arms kind of follow where the legs are going. So when the leg comes up, the arms come up, and vice versa. You could have the arms nice and wide. You could have the hands on the hips. You might be hanging onto a wall for dear life, that's also acceptable. Okay. You can keep the arms above the head. All sorts of possibilities here. Okay. And this time I just want you to hold it in front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly transition to the other end of the move. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest it there. Fantastic. Same thing on the other side. Don't forget to change legs. It's always a problem. Okay. So first of all we get that lovely little calf stretch. It's like the pleasure to start. Pressing the heel back and down. Keeping this standing knee soft throughout. There's no need to lock out in the knee. Okay, and when you're ready, we're going to stop pressing that toe down. This time, let's do it. Stop pressing it down and we'll lean forwards and it's a balance instead. Okay, so, again, you've got all those arm positions. You can run the hips, you can be nice and wide. You can mirror what the leg's doing. Trying to keep the hips level and pointed forwards. You're trying not to twist the hips. So the shoulders and hips are level. And if you do fall out of it, the world won't end, okay? Just come back when you're ready. Just tipping at the hips. Alright. Let's hold this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow transition. Slow, probably a bit wobbly, that's fine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did it! Yes! Right, we're going to come down onto our mats. So let's come back to the end of our mats and we're just going to roll down again. So back in neutral, core contracted. When you're ready, tilt the chin, peel the spine. So just get a cheeky, sneaky roll in, rolling down in. And then from here, walk the hands forwards. You're going to come into all fours. Okay. So starting in this neutral all fours position, let's find that position. So feet, knees and hips all aligned. You can't really see much of your feet behind your thighs. And we're just going to work through the range of motion of the pelvis. So imagine that torch on the front of your pelvis. It's going to be in front of your face and then in front of your feet and rocking through those two positions. You're getting that lovely bit of movement into the lower part of the spine and just enjoying that. Okay, gradually allowing that to settle so you've got that small curve at the lower back, pulling all the way through the top of the head, all the way through to the bottom of the tailbones. The spine is long throughout. As always, I'm going to encourage you to imagine screwing your hands in towards the mat. So keeping the middle finger pointing above your head, imagine the little finger is screwing out wide. So the fingers are nice and wide and spaced out. The hands are directly under the shoulders, but that imagining the screwing will draw these inner surfaces of the elbows pointing above your head. So you've got this lovely position to start. Now, I don't know if I dare tell you, we're doing tricep press-ups. I know, it's going to be fine. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, and as you breathe out, bend those elbows towards your waist, nose comes down in between the hands. To make this move easier, the nose comes further back. To make it harder, the nose comes further forwards. We're just going to do 3, and then we're going to do 3 rounds of cat and cow. Okay, so you can carry on at your pace. If we're not doing the same thing at the same time, that's fine. So it's 3 rounds of that. If you wish to up the ante with these tricep press-ups. Get it so that you're straight at the hips to start with. The core is still engaged when you're ready. Breathing in, breathing out. So the elbow is going towards the waist, and it's only going to be 3 until you take those arms back to all fours so that you can do your cat and cow. Now I'm going to give you the option of a full tricep press up. There is no pressure, you don't have to, okay? I don't know if I'll make it either. Okay, if you wish to, up onto your toes, the elbows are going in towards the waist, the spine is long, the shoulder blades drawn down. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, knees down, back to all fours, cat and cow. Right, I have given you options there. Loads and loads and loads of options. Find the one that you want to try. We're only going to do 2 more sets of 3. So let's maybe try down to our knees this time. When you're ready, so you're pressing the palm of the hand into the mat to push it away. The elbows are tucked in towards the waist, so not going out to the side. Back to all fours. This is a fantastic piece of work for your triceps, those bingo wings, back of the arms. Last one. Choose your weapon. Okay, what we're going to go, let's do it. Let's do it to go for the full one. Keeping it long. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. 1, 2, 3. Back to all fours. Oh my goodness. You deserve that cat and cow. You do. Okay, we're going to stay with the cat and cow just for a few minutes, just to allow ourselves to really stretch into it and find that comfortable position. So if you want to, you can roll circles through the hips, just giving you loads and loads of possibilities and options, so that you can figure out where your back would appreciate that extra bit of a stretch tonight. You can press the body weight forward so the shoulders are further forwards than the wrists. If you're arching the back, that'll take it into the upper part of the back, or you can ease the hips backwards. The stretch goes more to the lower part of the back. You can take the hands to the side, look over the shoulder, look towards your feet. Take it down the side. Or switching sides. You might just be staying with a normal cat and cow. You might really feel the need for that extension tonight. So looking up, let the tummy come down, draw those shoulder blades down. So loads and loads of choice for you. But it should all be with the aim of making you feel really nice and comfy and mobile. Okay. I salute you. Those tricep push-ups are hard. You did a good job. Right, coming back to all fours, we're just going to do a bit of thread the needle. So back in our neutral position, we'll start. Take the hand underneath the opposite arm, side of the head, and the shoulder comes to rest down. We'll just start with a little static stretch here. So pressing that top hand, this hand, in towards the mat. Push that top shoulder up and back so the chest is coming round. And when you're ready, releasing that, take the arm up towards the ceiling and really reach it up and back to twist the chest in the opposite direction. Okay, and then you can change that into a continuous movement. 2 more. And switch sides. Do the same thing on the other side. So let's start with that static stretch to start. Side of the cheek and the shoulder on the mat. Using the hand that's pressing into the floor to twist the chest round. And take it into the opposite direction. Okay, lovely. And then we'll continue, so 2 more continuous moves. And then switch sides, we'll just do 3 continuous, threading the needle on the other side. I do like, with these moving stretches, I do like to have a static stretch built in there. because I think you can just really appreciate the position then, possibly get you a little bit further around, switch sides than you might otherwise. Because when you get to spend a little bit of time in a stretch, you can feel where you're trying to get to and you can ease it round. Okay, and release that there. Fantastic. Right, we're going to pop down onto our tummies from here. Have a little go at swan dive. Why not? Why not? I will take my glasses off. Okay, so swan dive, to start with, toes together, let the heels flop out to the side. The hands and head make a capital E shape on the ground. Okay, you're just tucking that pelvis under, so tucking the tailbone under to start with, drawing in the tummy button towards the spine. So imagine an ice cube just under your tummy button that you would rather not be lying heavy onto. When you're ready, draw those shoulder blades down the back, and you're going to bring the upper body just gently up, still keeping the gaze looking down, bringing it down. So this move initiates with the strength of the upper back. If you're comfortable with that and with that range of movement and you'd like to increase it, when you've used that upper back strength, press down into the forearms, you go a little bit higher. Come back the way you came. And if you wish to, upper back forearms, rolling up onto the hands, you've got that extension forwards. Not overextending into the neck, but the neck is going in line with the spine, so as you are rolling up, naturally your gaze will come more forwards and then back down towards the mat. Okay, and if this is feeling comfy and you'd like to bring that lower body in towards the movement, when the upper body is down, then engage the glutes and lift the legs. And it becomes a seesawing motion. Upper body down, lower body up. Now, if you find it too hard to bring both legs up at the same time, you can go for a single leg raise, and then the other side raise, and then come back up. You may find it comfier just to leave that upper body completely out. So maybe rest your forehead on your back of your hands, and just do the lower body part of this move. Or vice versa, you might just want to leave the lower body out. Please, please, please don't do anything that makes your back feel really uncomfy. For some people, the lower body part, if it's feeling a little bit twingy, for some people, if you have the feet a little bit wider apart, so maybe as wide as the mat, that can release a little bit of tension into the lower back. So I'll give you that as an option, but it is purely an option that you can play with, and if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Or you can stay with the original move. We'll just do a couple more. And relax it there. Just relax. We're actually going to pop back and go into child's pose from here to release that lower back, because it has a little bit of compression as the legs lifted. So release, press the bottom back. If you wish to, keep the arms above the head, or you can relax the shoulders down, take the hands towards the feet and let those shoulders flop towards the floor. And relax it there, okay. We're going to come back up, we're going to go to a side lying position. So we're going to go for some side kick circles. Now it's optional, I've got these cushions out just in case you wanted to use them. You don't have to if you don't want to tonight, okay? So I'm just going to lie on the upper part of my arm. If that isn't comfy, by all means, please grab your cushions and pop them under your head, okay? We've got this long side lying position, ankles, knees and hips are stacked. Ease that top hip away to draw the waist away from the mat. So you can imagine you've got that straw position underneath your waist. Top hand you can use for balance. You might want to lay it on the leg, you might want to point it up towards the ceiling, that's a bit trickier. So have a play, see how you feel, okay? Let's go for that full and wide breathing. Okay, when you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, and as you breathe out, float that top leg up, and I'm just going to get you to draw circles. Now, as you're drawing the circles, try to maintain that gap under your waist. When you've drawn 4 or 5 in one direction, switch directions. Okay, so just keep switching directions every few. That's fine. The head is relaxed down, the shoulder blades are drawn down the back. The size of the circles is something like a football, roughly. You're aiming to keep these hips stacked, and you're trying to not be rocking around too much. You're also trying, and it is really hard, to not have a really super jerky movement. So trying to smooth it out as best you can, and I appreciate that is really tricky, and I can feel myself it's a little bit jerky. But that's where we're aiming, okay? And if you want to have a bit of a challenge with the arm, you can have that up above, pointing high. Just keep remembering to switch directions. You're feeling it in the outer part of the thigh, those abductor muscles. And if you're like me, you're probably feeling it quite a lot already. That's part of the fun, right? Keeping the foot relaxed, keeping the calf relaxed, still drawing those circles. But it's this big, nice, big, long set of muscles here. You still got that gap under your waist. Do you want to have a quick check? Are the hips still stacked? I'm going to have a quick check. Keep switching directions. And we'll just do a couple more. 2, 1, and rest. Rest, rest. There's probably lactic acid burning your leg right now. Give it a rub, give it a pat, get the blood flowing. Okay. Have a nice stretch there. So holding onto the shoelace area of the foot. If you wish to, and you find it tricky, you can always use your band. Pop it around your foot. That might help you to grab on if you find that position tricky. Or holding onto the back of your trousers, anything like that can help just to hold that leg up. Getting the stretch down the front of the leg, down the quad. Pushing the knee away from you, the hip away from the heel of the foot. All right. And we will release that there. We're going to come up into a sitting position. So if you need to roll over onto your back, do it however is best for you. You can press up with the hands, or you can roll onto the back and roll up holding onto a leg. Our next move is going to be a mermaid. So mermaid traditionally you would do with your feet kind of flop to the side. If this position isn't comfy for you, by all means you can have your feet in front, you can have them cross-legged, you can have like a diamond shape, you might want to sit on a cushion. Just try and get that lower back in a really nice long neutral position rather than flop down if you can, okay? Another alternative, you might want to be on your knees, okay? That might help you control that position of the lower back. But traditionally, mermaid, you would do in this kind of side-seated position. Okay, so with a nice long spine, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, reach your arm up, 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 and then over. So you're getting some flexion into the side, but you're getting it by feeling the stretch over the top, rather than really compressing down the side that you're leaning into, you're stretching over it. It's a really nice, smooth, flowing move. Just a couple more. Really reaching up, reaching high, reaching over. And relaxing there. Wonderful. Right. Do the same thing on the other side. Let me swing those legs around. If you did have the legs in a different position that was a symmetrical position, stick where you are, that's fine. Okay, and when you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, got this nice tall position. As you breathe out, float the arm up and over. Up and over. Okay, just going side to side. such a long, lovely, flowing movement. And you're imagining you're between two panes of glass. So there's no forward flexion, no leaning backwards. It is purely side to side, reaching high, reaching over, reaching high, reaching over. Lovely. Just one more each side. Fantastic. Let's hold it there. Wonderful. Right, I'll grab my glasses because I really can't see very well. And I'll come to lying on the mat. So we're going to be lying on our backs on the mat. We're all rolling down into it. Okay, let's find this neutral position on our backs. So start with your feet together. Take your heels out, take your toes out. Knees will follow. So knees, ankles and hips are all nicely aligned. And from here, I just want you to find this neutral position in the lower back. So imagine that torch. I'm going to point it over the toes and over the head. So you're rocking the pelvis, getting a nice big arch in the back and then flattening the back onto the floor. So that pelvis is tucking under, tucking over. And gradually reducing the size of this move until we come to that neutral position where there is a small gap under your lower back. From here, just draw the tailbone down, draw the top of the spine up. Allow the rib cage to just flop down, be nice and heavy. The shoulders can flop down, be nice and heavy. Allow the shoulder blades to draw down towards the back pockets, opening the chest out of the front, and the hands will probably naturally point up towards the ceiling or in towards the legs. So it's a nice, open, relaxed position. The move that we're going to go for tonight is single leg circles. So when you are ready, let's go for that full and wide breathing. Let's return back to our breathing. Alright, just get that little moment of calm before we get going again. Okay, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, just float one leg up towards the ceiling. So the knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. And from here, I just want you to draw circles. So we've done side-lying circles, we're now doing supine circles. So lying on our back. You can imagine that your leg is stirring a big bowl of porridge. Okay, so you're working into the hip flex, you're working into the core. Try and keep these hips stable. So again, try to keep the movement smooth and the hips stable. It's tricky. Again, try and remember as well to alternate directions every so often. Okay, if this is feeling good, and you'd like to up the ante a bit, imagine the leg that is still down is on a thin sheet of ice. You just want to sneak a piece of paper underneath. So you're barely touching the floor, and that kicks in the core. Now when that happens, don't allow the tummy to dome. Okay, you're still maintaining control of the core. You've still got that hipster belt on. Whereas there's still that neutral gap under the back. The shoulders are still eased away from the ears. So you're not suddenly getting new tension into the shoulders. You're not tightening up the upper body just to control this. If this is still feeling good and you would like to, you can float that other leg. Try to keep it still. Again, keep the tummy down. Keep the gap under the back neutral. Okay, doing a grand old job. Try and keep it still. And switch directions. And we're going to let one leg come down, the other leg come down. Lovely. And we're just going to release this hip flexor of the working leg to start with, because we know we've got to do it on the other side. So straighten out the leg away, bring the other knee in towards the chest. Lovely. Okay, coming back to that neutral position. If you need to, just find that neutral part in the spine, under the lower back. Lovely. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, float the other leg up towards the ceiling. Do make sure you're doing the other leg. You'll soon realise if you're not, trust me. We've all done it. We've all done it. So stir that porridge. Don't forget to change direction. So in the first instance, I've still got a little bit of pressure going on in the leg that's down. Okay, this is the level 1. Switch directions. If you want to kick that core in, just almost float the leg. Oh, I can almost sneak a piece of paper underneath. Still trying to keep the hips level, gap under the lower back, shoulder blades drawn down. How's that feeling? Working? Switch directions. If that is still feeling great, and you're like, yes, give me more, float the other leg. Try and keep it still. So you've still got that porridge going. Switch directions. How are you going? Is this tummy still down? Shoulder blades still drawn down the back. Upper body still relaxed. And the feet relaxed. And the calves relaxed. The work is going on in the core and the hip flexors. That's where the work is. Keep changing directions. Can you still keep that gap under the back? How's that going? Do you need to bring the leg down? Are you great keeping it up? Okay. You are working at your pace. You do not have to continue doing the same thing for the whole of the movement. As things get too tough, you take it down. As you're feeling great and you're ready to take it up, you take it up, okay? Alright, just a couple in the other direction. And release one leg, release the other leg, and we'll release this hip flexor. So bring that leg in, take the opposite leg away. It's a nice old stretch. And release that there. We're going to come back to our side and do those side kick circles again. As before, it's up to you. If you want to have that cushion under your head because it's not so comfy on your shoulder, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll be in this nice long position. So ankles, knees and hips are stacked. You may need this hand for balance on this side. Let's wait and see how we get on. Draw that top hip away. There's a little gap under the waist. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, float that top leg, and we're going to start with the circles. And again, it might feel jerky again. Circles about the size of a football. Do you want to have a play with your balance this time? So do you need that hand in front? Do you want to try it along the leg this time? Don't forget to change directions. So you're going to be going forward and backward. And switch directions. Try the arm high. Keep that top hip eased away. Still got the gap under the waist, still drawing the shoulder blades down, spine is still long. The foot is floppy, the calf is floppy. The work is going on in this abductor group at the side. The hips remain stacked. Okay? Switch directions. And switch directions. Nearly there. And just one more direction. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release. Give it a rub, give it a pat. Get that blood flowing. Fantastic. And we're going to have a little stretch down the quad. So push the top of the knee away. Press that hip forwards Press the foot in towards the hand. Wonderful. And relax it there. We're just going to roll over onto our back and do a little bit of hip rolls. So hip rolls will get the feet slightly wider than our hips, so more like the width of your mat. If you've got the space, take your arms wide. You can always cactus arm them if you don't. But just allow the legs to windscreen wide forwards and back. So we're getting a nice relax and release into the lower part of the back. Just a good little twist. Keeping both the shoulders into the floor. Next time the legs come over towards me, take that top leg over the top. You can gently ease the leg down in towards the floor if you wish with the hand. Keep the back shoulder on towards the floor. So you're feeling this twist in kind of the lower mid part of the back. Relaxing into it though, breathing into it. And release that, bring the leg back in, windscreen wiper over to the other side. I just need to shimmy my hips so I've got enough space. So shimmy across and then take the leg over. Again, you can press the knee towards the floor. Lovely twist. And release that here. We're just going to remain on our backs for a moment, because we're going to do some shoulder bridge work. So back in our neutral position, get the feet fairly close in towards the hips. So it's still in our neutral though, feet, knees and hips aligned. And I'm just going to find the neutral part of my pelvis. So rocking forwards and backwards, finding that neutral arch in the lower part of the spine. The rest of the spine is long and relaxed down into the floor. We've got full and wide breathing, everything's relaxed. We need to give the legs a little shake, a little wobble, just release that tension. Breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, squeeze the glutes and press those hips up towards the ceiling, peeling the spine away from the floor gradually. The knees are pressing away, you are pressing through the heels and bring it back down. So one by one, the vertebrae returning to the mat. And we're just going forwards and backwards, starting with the mobility involved in this move. So really thinking about laying those vertebrae down one by one, coming back to neutral, making sure you've got that core contraction, and then peeling up again. If you do find this little clunky bit in the spine, you can just feather through it. I just mean kind of rocking the hips side to side. Might just give you a little bit of extra movement where there's some tension. Just coming up onto your shoulder blades. You're never coming up as far as your neck. There's no pressure in your neck. It's all kind of coming to the shoulder blades and so. Making sure the hips and knees remain tracking. So don't be tempted to let the knees knock in or go wide. Try and keep it so they stay on their line as best you can. And this time, go back to neutral. Make sure your core's switched on. peel it up. This time, should you so wish, there is no pressure. We are going to engage the back of the legs. So glutes are switched on. At the top, I want you to raise up the heels and down 3 times. Up and down. Last time, up and down. And then come back down as the move. So you're working into those calves. Back to neutral when you're ready. Peeling it up. So those glutes are tight. Working through the mobility, and I'm going to go up on the calves. So pressing the heels up. And then peeling it back down. And it's slow, and it's controlled, and it's strong. There's no pressure to do it though. If it's not for you tonight, that's fine. That's fine. If actually what you need tonight is just some pelvic tilts, just to get that lower back feeling great. Honestly, that will be the best thing you can do. That's what you need. If you want some strength work into the glutes, this is fantastic. Mobility throughout the whole of the spine. And in this case, also working the calves. It's a lovely little variation on a normal move. Okay, I'm just going to get you to do one more. Just one more. Make sure it's a good one, so get neutral, core switched on when you're ready. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep them high, keep them high. Okay, let's get into our top position. Heels up. Oh, and then bring it back down. Nice, 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 nice. And back to that neutral. Oh, lovely. Right, let's have a little glute stretch. We deserve that. Ankle over to the opposite knee. Draw that far leg in towards the body. If you wish to, you can press the knee that's pointing out to the side out, or you can pull the far leg in. You might want to extend that back leg up towards the ceiling. That was a cheeky bit of work on the calves, wasn't it? Oh, that's good. And relax that down. We'll switch sides. Ooh. And either pressing the leg out or drawing that far leg in. If you wish to, if you have this belt available and you would like to, we're going to use it for a hamstring stretch now. If you don't, that's fine, just hold on to your leg like you normally do. But for me, this just adds that little bit of extra capability to get a little bit further into the stretch. So pop it behind the middle of your foot. I quite like to wrap the belt around my hands. Take the other leg down away from you, down onto the mat. Straighten out the leg that's pointing up. It might be for you, it's over here. The key is to have your knee straight, okay? This is a rare occasion I'm suggesting you lock the knee. But just bring it in to wherever you comfortably can and you get that stretch sensation. And we are going to hold. I am aiming to increase your flexibility on the hamstring tonight. So we're going to hold it a little bit longer than we might normally. Just breathing through it. On your next full and wide breath in, when you breathe out, if you can, just bring it a tiny bit closer. And again, the belt I find quite helpful for this. I find it easier to do this with the belt than I would holding onto the back of the leg. So it's just an option, it's not a necessity. Increasing the flexibility on that hamstring. Okay, and release that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I tend to switch them in mid-air. Do it however works for you, okay? So just getting that leg that's going up nice and straight, extending the other leg away. And this might feel a bit different, you might get it a bit closer, you might not get it as close, that's fine. But we just hold it for a little while. And then we'll go for that full and wide breath in. And as you breathe out, can you ease it just a little smidge more? And relax it there. Okay, so take the belt away. And we're coming up to a sitting position. You might want to grab onto the leg to help you get up. I'm actually going to kneel up here, and if you have the belt, you may wish to use it again. We're going to do a tricep stretch. Your option, if you don't have the belt, is just to press either onto the front, or if you can reach it over the top and ease that hand down the back. If you want to, and you find it useful, what you can do is hold that belt, take it behind, and just grab behind and pull down the back. And get that stretch in that way. You might find if you've got really nice flexible shoulders and things, you might just be able to grab the hands. So that's another option too. It just depends. It just depends on the flexibility of your shoulders. Your triceps might just be screaming from them tricep press-ups earlier. I don't know. That's possible. I thought we should give them a stretch. But you do have that belt option. Okay, and release that. So again, if you want to use the belt, take it in the hand that's going over the top and find the end behind you and gently pull down the back. So you're easing the arm down the back. The elbow is pointing high. The bicep, that top part of the arm, is just tucked in near to the ear. And again, if you can and if it's comfy, you can ease the hands together at the back. Okay? Or you can be pressing from the front. If you don't have a belt, you can press from the front, you can press over the top. Loads of options. Loads of options. Okay, from here we're just going to stand up. So tuck the toes, straighten out through the legs, roll up through the spine. So the last thing to come up is your head. Just move my belt out of the way. Make sure there's nothing to trip on, as always. Okay, we'll have a couple of full and wide breaths. So guys, that was it. Thank you so much. As I mentioned at the beginning, I don't know if you heard it or not, but this was going to be my last live class for a little while because this room won't exist next week. A bit nerve-wracking. That is not to say there won't be classes. There will be classes. I will post them onto the Facebook page and onto the YouTube every Monday, okay? So you will still be able to do my classes. That's fine. And I do hope you enjoy them and do still keep joining in. But they won't be live for a little while, for which I apologise. But as you know, life happens and we don't always have full control over it. So we just crack on and do what we can. Okay, but it has been a pleasure tonight. If you enjoyed it, like it, share it, tell your friends, whatever, drop me a comment, drop me a message. It's been fantastic to see you as always, and I look forward to the next time that you join me for another Pilates session. All right, fantastic. See you soon. Bye bye.